The Apple App Store made over $100 billion last year. And right now, for the first time, you don't need a single line of code to build a real app and put it on there. I built this entire iPhone app with Claude Code. It scans your food and breaks down every calorie and macro. It has a dashboard, a weekly history, full statistics, the whole thing. But here's what nobody's showing you. Every tutorial builds a to-do list or a habit tracker. Apps you would delete after 5 minutes. I wanted to build something real. Something I actually use every day. Something that looks like a team of developers build it. I've been building with Claude Code for months now. Websites, automations, full products. This one is one of the most advanced things I've ever shipped. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I built this whole app. From scratch to working iPhone app. I've also put all prompts and the full step-by-step guide in my community so you can build it along. Link you can find in the description box below. And without further ado, let's get started. The app I'm about to show you was created with this simple prompt. And the starter package I provide in the description box below. With this starter package, you could create any app you like. It's fully optimized for native iPhone apps. But before we build it, let me show you what we are making today. Because this is not just a demo. It's a real working app. It is a native iPhone app with an onboarding process like you can see here, where you fill out your information first. You tell it how much you work out, your goal, and then it tells you what your daily target is. So you know exactly what to eat to achieve your goals. Then you have here a dashboard, you have here history, you have here statistics, and you have settings. In the settings, I included a feature where you can generate sample data so we can see how this app would look like after a few weeks of using. When we go now to history, you will see exactly how it will look like. For example, with the spaghetti here. It shows you the calories, the proteins, the carbs, the fats, and so on. And a complete breakdown here. But where it really gets interesting is when we go here to dashboard and click here on the plus icon. And then click on take photo and take a picture of a Big Mac, for example, and click here use photo and analyze a meal. Now the photo will be analyzed by an AI. And based on the picture, we get a full breakdown of all nutritions. Here we see a full breakdown. For example, beef patty, the sesame bun, the lettuce, the burger sauce, and so on. And then we click here clock meal. Then we see here on the dashboard how many calories we have remaining. And this way we can easily track our calories and achieve our goals. And here in the history, you can also see how you performed in the past. For example, last week, you see there were an average 1,400 calories. So this way you know if you're gaining, losing, or maintaining your weight. And besides the weekly breakdown that you can find here in the history, you can find also statistics here, where you can see the last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, year, and all time. This way you can track better your eating habits, and you even have like a current streak and best streak days. You also receive here insights that you can follow to further improve your fitness. And now we will build the whole app from scratch. To follow along, open the link down in the description box below. Then you will see here this page where you will have all steps that are needed and the resources that you need to provide to Claude Code so he is able to build real iPhone app. Step number 1 is to install Claude CLI or desktop app. If you want to install the CLI, follow this URL here and simply copy this. Then you open the terminal and simply paste this command there and click enter. Or if you don't like the terminal, you can also use the Claude Code desktop app that you can simply find here. But I highly recommend you to use the CLI because it has a few advantages that you will see. The next step we have to do is to install Xcode with the following options that you can see here in the screenshot. For this, you first download the Xcode that you can find here, and then you install it with these options. Once Xcode is installed, we open Xcode and click here create new project. Here it's important that you select iOS and then app, and then click next. Here you give this project a name like calorie tracking app demo and click next. Then you choose a folder for that and click create. Now we got the foundation done that you can create iOS apps. Xcode created the boilerplate code for us and made sure that we have now a Hello World demo app that you could actually already execute on your phone. For example, when I select here my iPhone and click here the play button, then you will see the exact same app on your phone. But instead of coding this whole app, we will now give Claude Code access to this folder so he can create the app for us. For this, I open first here the folder. And now we need to open Claude Code into this folder. If you're using the desktop app, you select here code. And then you select here under folders, choose different folder. And then you simply select this folder here. If you're using Claude Code terminal, you type in CD here and drag and drop the folder here and press enter. And then you type in Claude. This way is the standard approach. But we don't want to use it because Claude Code is very good at coding, but he's not specialized to build iPhone apps. That's why I created the Claude Code app-based template. You first download it here, then you extract this folder and copy and paste everything inside this folder into your Xcode folder. By the way, you see that here's a folder that is actually usually hidden. If you don't activate that you see hidden folders, you won't be able to copy and paste it here. So make sure to activate first that you see hidden folders. How you can do that? You simply open Claude Code and type in show me hidden folders on my Mac. Then Claude Code will make sure that you can see this kind of folders. What this folder actually provided is a Claude MD file and some other files. So that means when you open Claude Code the next time, first the Claude MD file is red. And here are all instructions that are needed to create really good apps. So what you have to do is first to close Claude Code and then open it again. This time it loaded every information that I provided in this base template. But let's take a closer look what advantages we have with this iOS starter kit for Claude Code. But before we do this, we'll let Claude to create this app in the background. So when I finished explaining, the app is already finished. If you want to follow along, simply copy this prompt here and click enter. Now I will explain you the advantages of using the Claude app base template. The advantage is you just drop it in and tell Claude Code what to build, and it handles the rest. And let me show you what it actually means exactly. So what will happen now is first, it will tell Claude Code what to install if you don't have it. So you don't have to do it manually. For example, we need some MCP tools. One of the MCP tools is Xcode build MCP. Without this MCP, one failed build dumps 3000 lines of noise into your Claude Code's context window. What it means is if you have an error that is very, very long, it will fill up the context window of your Claude Code. And since the performance of Claude Code drops when you fill out the context window, this is necessary so Claude Code can actually work with iOS apps. Another thing what it installs is an iOS simulator MCP. This gives Claude Code eyes and hands. It can make screenshots, it can make tabs, swipes, and has an accessibility tree. What it basically means is you don't have to tell Claude Code all the time, X, Y didn't work and stuff. Claude Code now verifies by himself if everything's working before he's telling you to check the app. That saves you tons of time. What Claude Code also has is an autonomous iteration loop. That means Claude knows how to write code, how to build it, how to run the app, and how to take screenshots. He can check the UI, fix issues. It only reports done when the app compiles, runs, and looks correct. So the first time I used Claude Code to create apps and I didn't have this template, I all the time had to check, report back. I always had to tell Claude, hey, you have to fix this. This is not running correctly. This does not look correct. I had to take manually screenshots and provide them. And this took tons of time. And it wasn't really fun to create the app because I was constantly busy with debugging the app. Another big thing is this file here. It's in every Xcode project. The problem with this file is Claude Code likes to modify it, but it does it wrong. And this is the most common error. And this is the most common error why people get stuck when they're using Claude Code when they're building their iPhone apps. One corrupted project file will waste hours. That's why we have here in the settings rules to avoid that he writes into this file. And the best part is you don't have to tell it manually. If you're using this template file, Claude Code knows it already. Another big thing is to use more than Swift only. This is a little technical, but you have to understand the language in which the iOS apps are written is called Swift, and they constantly gets updated. But Claude Code is still trained on old data instead of the newest one. That's why you need to tell it all the time to use the most modern designs and APIs here. That's why you always have to That's why you always have to tell it to use the newest kit and APIs. So basically, LLMs adopted the same anti-patterns humans did. And that's why we need to tell Claude Code explicitly how to use it correctly. And last but not least, we have 40% less interruptions because in the settings JSON, this file here, we approved already some of the commands that you constantly need to approve. Because we know we need to build it, we need to run it, and so on. So overall, we don't have these downsides anymore, and we have a lot of pros. And this time we can save tons of time, and the setup only takes really 2 minutes. Alright, Claude Code is finishing up. He already started the app here, and this is the results. By the way, when I scroll up here, you'll see he used the Xcode build MCP a lot of times. And thanks to that, he was able to quickly fix all errors, and this is what we got now. We got already a dashboard. We have the scan feature, history, settings, and from here on we can further improve it by simply prompting it. By the way, when I select here my iPhone and click here the play button, and click here replace, what will happen now is he will build now the app and put it on my iPhone, like you can see here. So you got the exact same app running on your phone. So in conclusion, when you use the template I provide you, you can quickly create this kind of apps in no time. And the biggest advantage is it's a native iOS app. You see this nice animation when I click here to the next, or how this bar here looks like. It looks so good because Apple provides a framework that automatically makes this kind of things. The animations, the icons, and so on. Because the alternative is that you can create also a React app or something like this and make it look like it's an iPhone app, but then it will not feel so smooth and won't look that nice like you would expect it from an iPhone app. What you also may notice is this app does not have an onboarding process, it has no login, and it does not have any payment options. For this, of course, you can try it by your own, prompt Claude for that and hope that it works, or you join my community where I explain everything step by step and make sure that everything works. Because in the community, you can ask questions when you get stuck, and when something is not covered in tutorials, we'll make sure that you get the answers that you need. So I highly recommend you to use my iOS starter kit. And if you don't want it for some reason, then please make sure to install these 2 MCPs at least and give him this information also, especially this one, because by default, Claude Code does modify, unfortunately, this file, and this corrupts the whole Xcode project. Once this happens, you will waste hours. And if you want me to do a tutorial for your app, let me know in the comments down below which app you would like to see next.